What's up, guys? This is Bill, and this is a story about how I got my first job when I was 16. So like a lot of teenagers, I started off working in food service. In particular, I was working at Carl's Jr. or Hardee's, depending on what side of the Mississippi you were born on. And that wraps up all the stuff that is easy to explain. Everything else is just pretty much batshit, because I don't know how else I would explain it in less than one sentence. So I get the phone call for the interview. I show up after school. I show up in a crispy purple polo, some Levi jeans, and some Vans looking like 2013 Lil B. Somehow, someway, I still managed to get the job, probably because of the same supernatural forces that are keeping T.I.'s hat on his head. So 2 days come and go, my first day rolls around. We show up, and in the middle of the training, we start getting into the more intangible parts of work, but they'll tell you about like something tiny or weird that's just specific to your location. So like, hey, our freezer door doesn't actually lock, so you have to do this. So, thing about our restaurant is that it was in the hood. If you're having trouble keeping up, don't worry, I'll sum it up and keep it simple. Basically, it just takes the cops too long to show up because of downtown and traffic to make any difference when anything happens. Like, even if they try, you know? So 2 weeks pass, and my job considers me trained enough to run the front end of the store by myself, and I start to get an idea of just like what kind of weird stuff I'll have to deal with on the job. This guy just randomly walks up to our drink display where we have like all the straws and lids or whatever and just smacks the shit out of it on the ground. Fucking sends that shit flying all across like right where all the cash registers are. And personally, even at the moment, I wasn't even that upset because I was just like, I can't blame him. Considering I'm the guy that had to clean that shit up, I would have a hard time getting convinced that that shit wasn't sick as hell, because I don't see one good reason for why that isn't like the biggest Chad move possible. Walks into food establishment, does not acknowledge anybody, does not order anything, smacks the shit out of the drinks display, leaves. Like, that is incredible. Now, as you could assume, the job was not always full of issues that you just kind of like laugh off. Eventually, I got really fucking pissed off with some of that bullshit, let me tell you. So eventually, while taking a quick bathroom trip mid-work, because I'm not going to the bathroom during my breaks, I stumble upon some real horror. Because, as I mentioned before, I'm the only guy at that establishment. So that bathroom was like my private bathroom. Like, as in the STEM building at a university, women's bathroom kind of private bathroom. Like, that was just my bathroom, even though it was a public one. And I walk in there and there's shit smeared everywhere. And look like, bro, when I tell you it was literally everywhere, like, it was everywhere, bro. He got it all over all 4 stall walls and the walls outside. They were determined, very determined. Flabbergasted beyond belief, I walk back to my bosses to let them know of the horrors I'd just seen. And these motherfuckers look at me with a straight face and tell me where to find the cleaning stuff to pick it up. To which I immediately think, but don't say out loud, you motherfuckers get paid more than I do. So this would go on to just be reason 1 of 3, because you know we're using a strike system of being civilized here. So I walk back and take it on the chin and clean it up. And I come back like, you know, whatever, my next shift, and time rolls around. And eventually we start having this bit of a debacle going on where a lot of money keeps going missing, and it's only during my shift. Now, I am not a bozo. The first thing that comes to mind for me is, damn, these rat bastard sons of bitches are really trying to frame me because I'm new and it'll look like it's me at first reflex. Now, fortunately for me, the next time the dipshit would decide to steal, it wasn't on my shift, and they realized, okay, we were kind of hasty, that was kind of fucked up. They did say sorry. No, I'm just kidding. Jobs never do stuff like that. You fell for it, didn't you? So as time goes on, they keep on narrowing down who it may or may not be, and eventually when they start crunching it down harder, one of my managers tries to say that it was me to my actual boss. To which I bunny ears my pockets and, you know, open up my like trifold wallet, because I'm 17 at the time, and show that I have like about $3 in my wallet. And the bitch kind of gets caught right there. Just kidding. I was just yanking your chain. I got you again. Everybody knows jobs don't actually hold their management accountable. What actually happened was they played stupid until they caught her red-handed, and then they actually did fire her. Of course, once again, they did not apologize or say anything for trying to pin it on me the entire time. But, I mean, who really cares, because this is strike 2. The good thing about strike 2 at a job, like metaphorically speaking, is the fact that now you can start planning your escape. And if you don't know what I mean, I just mean like you start sitting there thinking, oh, I'm gonna shit in a urinal when I leave, or I'm gonna cuss this person out, or I'm gonna say this. You start plotting what your fuck you, I'm out speech is gonna be. And I felt like mine was either gonna be to leave during a rush, or, I mean, like I said, shit in a urinal. You feel me? I feel like that's pretty effective. So, the clock keeps ticking, time keeps going forward, and about 2 months in advance, I'm sitting there kind of just already getting tired of the bullshit these bitches do, because they're just sitting there nagging at me and complaining to me, like, about their own drama that they have within themselves. And I'm just really starting to get fed up. So, fortunately for myself, I get a great window. I show up, and it's just me, a cook, and our, like, boss, like, the head boss or whatever, like, the general manager. So we're there going through a whole lunch rush, and if you work food service, that's really the only time of the day you're busy, because you're not really busy during dinner time. For some reason, my boss decides that this is a great day to just bitch at me, like the whole shift, like is just sitting there nitpicking the shit I do. And she doesn't know that I'm already at my wit's end, like I'm not tripping, I'm ready to leave today. So, I mean, she decides to bitch enough for the last time, and I'm like, all right, no, don't worry, like I didn't act like nothing was serious. And she bitches at me. She tells me to like go get some ice out of a bucket or something like that, even though I'm working the drive-through. And I do. I go back there, I grab myself a bucket of ice, and then I turn off the defroster so the rest of our ice is gonna melt by the time I'm gone. I walk back up front, pour out the ice, and then I clock out and leave. And I mean, I don't really know what happened from there, but I mean, I guess that bitch actually had to do some work instead of bitch at me for once.